The Rajiv Gandhi equity scheme was announced during the budget speech in March. There was very little clarity on the details of the scheme back then, until recently when the finance minister told us it will include mutual funds, ETFs and also IPOs and FPOs. We've put together a report to put some light on the entire scheme, tell you if you're eligible first, and then we'll find out if you should in fact invest in that scheme. Take a look.
Over the last year, the jittery state of the equity markets has pushed investors to opt for safer options like gold. But the government is now determined to bring investors back, which is why the finance minister has included mutual funds and ETFs in the Rajiv Gandhi equity savings scheme. You can invest in the scheme only if you are a first-time equity investor, which means you should not have a demat account, and if you already have one, you should have no record of any equity or derivative transactions on it. Next, your annual taxable income should not exceed 10 lakh rupees. If you fulfill these conditions, then you can invest a maximum of 50,000 rupees in the scheme, which will give you a tax deduction of 25,000 rupees. This adds up to a total tax saving of 5,000 rupees a year. Initially, the scheme applied only to stock investments. It has now been modified to include investments in mutual funds and exchange-traded funds or ETFs. But not all mutual funds will qualify. Only funds that invest in the top 100 stocks listed in the BSE 100 and CNX 100 indexes are eligible. Outside the top 100 stocks, you are allowed to invest in public sector companies which have Navratna, Maharatna or Mini Ratna status. You can also subscribe to any FPOs of these companies. The scheme also allows you to invest in IPOs of state-run companies which have an annual turnover of at least 4,000 crore rupees. Finally, the scheme has a lock-in period of 3 years, but it allows you to trade after 1 year provided you maintain the total investment you claim the tax break on.
Alright, so that was the Rajiv Gandhi equity scheme. Let me bring in Dhirendra Kumar here to find out if it does make sense for us to invest in this scheme. Dhirendra, we have to remember here that someone making 10 lakh rupees a year or less, if they invest the total 50,000 rupees, it will result in a total tax saving of 5,000 rupees a year. Now, we know what mutual funds are included in the scheme. We also know ETFs are in the scheme. Does it make sense to go through all of that trouble for this investment?
It is too much of effort and too much of, it's too constrained an investment, because when I look at it, there is a possibility that none of the actively managed fund might be eligible. I would have imagined that investor getting started with a mutual fund, for him the best choice will be a balanced fund, but no balanced fund will be an eligible investment, because here it clearly states that the investment universe of the underlying fund must be the top 100 stocks by capitalization, or BSE 100 so to say. And to my understanding, only Sensex and Nifty trackers will be eligible investment, nothing else.
Every time we've compared ETFs with mutual funds on this show, we've said that actively traded funds or actively managed funds have more elbow room to maneuver around the market. But in this particular case, there's a lot of restrictions. So does it make more sense for us just to go the ETF way if we're looking at the Rajiv Gandhi savings scheme, because also it will save us a lot of money on charges?
It is certainly much better than buying any of the BSE 100 stocks yourself directly. So in that sense, the risk has been mitigated by enabling ETFs and index fund as alternatives to investing directly in any of the top 100 stocks. This is far better. So
Dhirendra, for someone who's watching at home right now who fits into this category, who's eligible for the Rajiv Gandhi equity savings scheme, would you recommend, see, they don't have to put in the entire 50,000, they can put in a smaller amount as well, but would you recommend that they take advantage of this offer the government is giving them?
Absolutely. I think, two compelling reasons why they should avail this. If you are eligible, if you have never invested in stocks, you don't have a demat account, go for it. Tax save is money earned, and even if it is 500, so be it. It's earning. And this other reason is that you get again a market exposure, and saving is better than paying taxes and not saving at all in the first place. The way to go, I think you should just consider a Nifty ETF. Of all the alternatives, PSU, FPOs, IPOs, top 100 stocks directly, I think this is the safest thing.
Dhirendra, thank you so much for clearing that up for us.